Hey, have you ever actually wondered how much of the emotion you're trying to express gets properly communicated with just your words? Well, this takes me to what's known as Mehrabian's Rule by Professor Albert Mehrabian, where the way most people talk about it is that 7% of meaning is communicated with our words and 38% is communicated with our tonality, how we deliver the words. And a whopping 55% is not expressed verbally, but with our actions, with our body language. Non-verbally, you might say. So 7% words, 30% tonality, and a whopping 55% body language. The thing is, that's not entirely true, because if you look at the study, the actual study by Professor Mehrabian, what he actually looked at was not the communication of meaning and whether meaning was passed on better with words or with actions, but whether or not words properly held the emotion they were trying to communicate. Like if you were attempting to express love, when you're expressing love, most people won't look at what you're saying at the word. They'll look at how you say it. Like if you say love versus love or love, these are very, very different things. And body language adds another layer to that. Like there's a difference between saying I love and I love. It's got a different texture to it. So if you track back to the Mehrabian studies, what the 7-38-55 rule better expresses is how well emotions or attitudes are communicated via words. Let me rephrase that as a useful tool. When trying to figure out if a person actually means what they're saying, look more to the actions of the person than to their words. When you're trying to figure out when somebody says, "Oh, I hate you," which is a really horribly misused thing right now. A lot of people, they throw this around like, "I hate you," okay? Like it were an easy thing to do or say. But when trying to sort out what that actually means nowadays, more and more, you actually got to look at how it's delivered. Like, I hate you. I absolutely hate you. It's very different from I hate you or I hate you. So when in doubt regarding communication, look at the subcommunication. When in doubt regarding what's actually being said, look not more at the words, but look more at how the words are said, and look at both the tonality and the body language. So this is a when in doubt rule. Look at not just the words. And it's not true the way the Mehrabian rule is commonly misused, that body language is so much more important than words and words don't mean anything. No. Words set up the context. Or body language sets up a context, or vocal tonality sets up the context. So they're all part of each other, they're all part of communication itself. And it's not true that a whopping 97% is nonverbal, nor is it true that words matter only 7% of the time. And these are ways in which the Mehrabian rule is misused commonly. If you look at the studies Professor Mehrabian has done and the bigger context of things, the summary will sound something like this. Words matter. Tonality matters. Body language matters. And if you're trying to figure out if a person is saying something truthfully, look more at tonality and body language than words. When in doubt, when you're trying to resolve something, trying to figure out which is which, look beyond the words. And this is especially true for first contact, because to me, if I look at the body of work, this is really a rule for first contact. Like if you don't know a person, at first meeting, the words matter not very much. You look more at how a person acts and how they say things than the words. Later, words carry much more of a charge, and words can mean more. And you know this from your dealings with people you've been around with for a long period of time, business partners, people you're in a relationship with, people you work around. Words matter more. The smallest statements, the littlest of words, they can carry so much meaning. You know this for a fact. On first meeting a person, though, yeah, the Mehrabian Rule holds. That's when it holds strongest. If you look at the studies, that's how it was. He got somebody to say words, and he got people to figure out if what is the person trying to convey, or if the feeling is properly conveyed by the word being used. And if you look at the setup, these are people who don't know each other. And so that's the best use for the Mehrabian Rule. When you first meet a person, look at more of their actions and their vocal tonality rather than what they're saying. This is what we do anyway. But when we're lost in our heads, we overlook that fact and we overanalyze and think about what they're meaning, and we try to get it from just the words, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. But later, words matter more. So I hope this has been useful, and I hope it takes you back to how magical it is really to understand how we use words and how to use them better. And if you're interested in learning more, my friend Ken Samara has a workshop coming up, Comply, with a huge exclamation point at the end, Comply. And it's a persuasion and influence intensive, and I'm pretty sure he'll talk about really useful, interesting stuff like the Mehrabian Rule, and definitely so much more that you can use in your day-to-day interactions. And if you're a fan of NLP and hypnosis, we have a conversational hypnosis mastery class that's completely online with video calls. We could meet if you'd like, and it's hosted by yours truly. Horsted, what a word. And if you'd be interested in that, let us know. Hey,